our Across the Aisle segment tonight, Senator Bernie Sanders believes in religious freedom, except for Christians. During a Senate confirmation hearing for a Trump appointee, Senator Sanders slammed the nominee's Christian faith as hateful, indefensible, and Islamophobic. I'd like to remind Bernie Sanders of Article 6 of our Constitution, which states, "No religious test shall ever be required as a qualification to any office or public trust under the United States." Take a look at what Senator Sanders said.
They do not know God because they've rejected Jesus Christ the Son and they stand condemned. Do you think that's respectful of other religions?
Senator, I wrote a post based on being a Christian and attending a Christian school that has a statement of faith that speaks clearly with regard to the centrality of Jesus Christ in salvation.
I would simply say, Mr. Chairman, that this nominee is really not someone who is what this country is supposed to be about.
Joining me now, professor and author of Obama's America, A Transformative Vision of Our National Identity, Ian Reifowitz. Ian, good to see you.
Always good to be here, Liz.
All right, Ian, this one's personal for me. I'm Christian, I'm a practicing Catholic. I'm pretty open about that fact on the show. Bernie Sanders attacking Christians in this way, saying that this nominee was not fit for office because he holds rather traditional Christian doctrinal beliefs here. I mean, this is exactly why we have religious freedom in our Constitution, to protect us against people like Bernie Sanders.
Well, let's be sure that we've got the quote exactly right from Mr. Vaught. He said, quote, "Muslims do not simply have a deficient theology. They do not know God because they have rejected Jesus Christ, his son, and they stand condemned." End quote. Now, I take that quote pretty personally as well, because that quote directly affects me. That means that Mr. Vaught believes that I am condemned to spend an eternity, it's a pretty long time, in torture and in agony.
Right, I get that.
Torture and in agony.
No, I get that.
Right,
I get
right?
that, but
so,
my question
okay,
is,
so
what...
national...
No, wait
go
a second. What difference does it make what he believes? I mean, I'm offended by a lot of other people's religious beliefs. Not offended so much as disagree with them, but what difference does that make? What difference does it make whether he's fit to serve in office, what he believes?
Well, first of all, we need to just expand a little further, because you mentioned that this is an attack on Christianity. First of all, it's an attack, if you want to call it that, and it is, on Mr. Vaught, not on Christianity. In fact, Senator Sanders' office was asked by National Public Radio if he would have had a similar condemnation for a Muslim nominee who had said that all non-Muslims are condemned to hell. And Sanders' office said, yes, absolutely. He would have condemned a Muslim who spoke the same way in exactly the same way. I know President Trump isn't probably going to nominate any Muslims who would speak that way, but the point is, this isn't about Christianity.
No, it is about Christianity. I mean, hypothetically, that's terrible that Bernie Sanders would condemn Muslims for what they believe too. That's an attack on their religious right to practice whatever faith they want to practice too. This was an attack on Christianity. When he said that this man was not fit for office, when he said that this man was not made up of that which our country has been built on, he was attacking this man because of his Christian beliefs. That is an attack on Christianity that just as easily could be aimed at anybody else in our country who's Christian as it was at this particular man. And my point is, Ian, this is in direct violation of Article 6 of our Constitution, that no religious test shall ever be applied for any reason for anybody serving in office or public trust under the United States. Do you not agree that this is a violation of Article 6?
First of all, it's not, and I'm going to get to that in a second. Second of all, the idea that we don't use religious beliefs as a barometer to, or that politicians don't use religious beliefs, or any of us, to judge somebody's fitness in office is false. Let's say there was a nominee who said, my religious beliefs require me to state that I believe that Sharia law should be the law of the land, and that Islam, that God and Allah is the only source of truth. Would conservative Christians or anybody not say that those religious beliefs might give them pause about whether to confirm such a nominee? When conservatives vote against a judicial nominee based on the religious beliefs, and yeah, religious beliefs of that nominee, the religious beliefs that lead that nominee to a certain position on abortion or the death penalty or poverty or separation of church and state, they are imposing that kind of religious test, if you will.
No.
Article 6 says there should be, yes.
No, that's different.
Yes,
I understand what you're saying, because we all form our political beliefs based off of our personal values, and our personal values are more often than not based off of our religious beliefs. I get that. I understand that, and I understand your argument, but I think it is a different to oppose someone based off of how it manifests politically than it is to oppose someone for their quoted statement, a post that they wrote on their belief in Jesus Christ and the fact that they believe that Jesus Christ is the only way for people to get to heaven. That is the only reason that Bernie Sanders stated that he opposed this nominee. He didn't oppose this nominee for any policy that he wanted to support. He didn't oppose this nominee for any way that he would be implementing his belief in his work in the office that he was going to be sitting in, by the way, didn't have anything to do with religion. He only stated opposition based off of the fact that he disagreed with the guy. I mean, what would this man have to do then? Would he have to reject Jesus Christ and his beliefs in order to be fit for office in the eyes of Senator Sanders?
Well, first of all, again, Article 6 is a religious test for office. It's not about how anybody votes. I've read the same articles that you've been reading, and for like it or not, senators have the right to vote yes or no on a candidate for any reason. That's not a religious test. A religious test that would violate the Constitution would be a regulation or a law that said Muslim cannot hold office, Christian cannot hold office, Jew cannot hold office. One person can vote however they like. At the end of the day, I think you're making a distinction without a difference. When a person votes no on a nominee for office, and that vote is based on the religious beliefs of that nominee, then that person is taking religion as a barometer. Conservatives do this, liberals do it. If you want to condemn Bernie Sanders for it, I have no problem with that, but you've got to hold conservatives to the same standard.
No, this is classic. Bernie Sanders betrayed the true colors of progressive liberals without even meaning to. This is the epitome of intolerance masked as tolerance. Progressives like Bernie Sanders don't want us to be able to hold the views that we hold if they don't agree with them. They want us to actually be disqualified from participating in our own self-government if our religious beliefs are counter to their political agenda. That is so dangerous, Ian, so very dangerous. And as easily as he targets this man, he could target me, and someone else could target you. I am shocked that Democrats aren't calling him out on this.